Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 323. Interview with 14-year MLB veteran Terry Shumpert. I'm Nick. We got Harrison, and as you can see, we got Terry. How you doing tonight, Terry?
Doing well, guys. How are you all?
Doing great. Thanks for coming
Fantastic.
on, man. Can't wait to dive into this. So it's gonna be
You're
pretty
welcome.
awesome.
You're welcome.
All right, before we get into it, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping with these companies, please use our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. Also have merch on Etsy. If you search Rounding Third Baseball, sweatshirts, t-shirts, whole bunch of stuff on there. Check us out there. And also on Patreon, a great way to support creators like ourselves and to gain exclusive content. So check us out over on Patreon. All right, here we go. Terry, pretty awesome career that you have had. Starting where? Like you started in Kentucky, correct? Like
Yeah.
University of Kentucky. Kind of
Yeah.
walk us through your career there.
Yeah. Started at the university. Well, I like to say I started in Paducah, Kentucky, right? A little
Yeah.
league. I say it's a full journey, going all the way through the little leagues there. Paducah, we had great baseball, youth baseball. They still do. And went on to Paducah Tillman. And from Paducah Tillman, I went to the University of Kentucky. And so, it was just a really fun journey to the big leagues.
Yeah, and you had some records at the time you were at Kentucky, right? Was it stolen
Yeah.
bases?
Yeah, I think at the time I had the stolen bases and then maybe triples, and then for that 1 year it was like highest batting average for a little while. I don't know if any of them there actually now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a pretty dang good program over there, so
Yeah.
pretty
Yes,
awesome.
it is for sure.
Yeah. All right, so we get drafted and kind of walk us through like that feeling like when you got drafted and
Yeah. Well,
what that meant for you and your family.
yeah, it really was a dream come true. You can't, you can't really put it into words because all your life you're little league going through playing football, basketball, baseball. You just want to be a professional, right? And so when that time gets close and it's probably right, it's right there. It's just excitement, it's excitement and just the thrill of, man, I want to be a major leaguer, because at the time, I'm sure like everyone does, I truly believed I was going to be a major leaguer, right? And so I just, you just think like this is the first step. And so, even going into your junior year, going into that year, your draft eligible year, you just, it's excitement every day, basically.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so minor leagues, kind of walk us through there before you get up to the big club.
Yeah, so I was drafted and I reported to Eugene, Oregon. I reported to Eugene, Oregon, and that was I guess what is it called? Short season, and it's
Hmm.
mostly like where the college players go, the college players, and then the very top, I think, high school players, because Griffey was the number one pick that year overall, and he was there. Um, and so you play the year there, and it was just such a blessing because Eugene is probably, I don't know, I think it still is because they have a new stadium now. It's like one of the best stadiums for the as far as even the fan support. I think we were selling out every night. I don't know if I can't remember. I think it may have been 6,700. you know
Man.
uh yeah, it was crazy, it was ridiculous, and those were all of our home games. And so you know, it's kind of funny. You think this is it, like this is pro ball, what it's going to be, and then the next couple of years in the minor leagues, you find, there are not too many at the stadium. Wasn't anything like Eugene, but
Yeah.
yeah, that first encounter made it, really special. That I got to go to a great place to play, great fan support, and was on the team with some really good players. Kevin Apier was our number one pick that year, and actually everyone from that team played had some time in the big leagues. Our catcher was Jorge Pedre. Um, um, I believe no, it was Jorge Pedre. Bobby Moore was one of our outfielders. Bobby
Okay.
Moore. Um, man, who was the other one? Oh man, let me see. Stu Cole, which was a longtime coach for the Rockies here. Stu
Hmm.
Cole. Um, and man, it was a couple more. I can't remember. Darren Watkins was a big prospect there, right fielder. But yeah, it was just it was really awesome. And then from there, I went to the Midwest League, and they call that was like low A ball Midwest League, Appleton, Wisconsin. It was in Appleton, Wisconsin,
So it's
and
funny. We got Randy Goodenough says, "Hey Shump, flashback to '88 Appleton." Just like you said,
yeah.
how you doing,
Oh, really?
buddy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. Tell us, hey, yeah, Appleton. So that was another really good experience. All of my experiences, minor league experience, they were actually good, but it was a lot of fun. And the thing with the minor leagues, man, is that it's like when you're young, when you're in high school and you get to go play AAU ball, which ours was American Legion, and so basically we were playing American Legion, for 6 months.
yeah,
And then you get to enjoy a spring training, around big leaguers. You get to go over to big league games and hang out and check all those guys out. And so my minor league experience was really good. So I did that Appleton in '88, and then in '89, in '89 they actually bumped me from the Midwest League, Appleton, to Omaha, to AAA, to the Omaha Royals, Omaha. So for anyone, like I said, that was a huge jump. When you jump high A and double A and go right to triple A. And it was a lot of fun. At first it was a little weird because it was the first time I played on the team with what they say now, a lot of older guys. Because the triple A team, I would think I was 22, 21 at first, 21, 22. And all the guys, mostly the team, they were, I'd say between 29 and 34, right?
yeah,
A lot of guys that have been up with the Royals, like Luis De Los Santos, the big first baseman, Schultze, Brian, I mean, let me see, Matt Winters, a lot of pitchers, Luis Aquino, just a lot of guys, and so when you get there, it was almost like it wasn't AAU, it wasn't American Legion ball anymore, right?
yeah,
All of a sudden it got serious, and but it was still a real blast. I had a good roommate. Mike Loggins was my roomie, and he was from Arkansas, University of Arkansas. Um, so he really helped me to adjust, to be there, be around some of the older guys. Gary Thurman was there a little bit. Um, but you get there, and I really struggled very badly the first half, and then I caught on in the second half. And so it was great. It was a lot of fun. And then the next year, and that was '89 and '90, I went back. I started the season back in Omaha, and then I got called up in 1990. I got called up in that May, you know, and
yeah,
so you know, it was you really can't say anything negative about it.
yeah,
It was great.
yeah. How does it feel in the minor leagues when you're like you're also competing against the team across from you, obviously, but you're also sort of competing with your teammates to get better and to get to the show. How is that feeling?
Yeah, I always say that was never a feeling for me.
Okay.
And I think it's because it's like you say, it's when I played at Paducah Tillman, I had guys I had Steve Finley on my team, Joe Hall, American Legion, right? That which were former big leaguers. And
Yeah.
so I was always playing with good players, a good player on teams with them. And so I think that's why I never felt like my teammates were my competition. Not until I retired and I was out and really going around it first with Mookie and then with my son. Then I it kind of hit me. It's like with my son, they were playing. I think Mookie was playing second base, and they were in there. And then you see these other players, like, man, he's pretty good, whatever, right? And then you start to think like, well, you know what? I wasn't just competing against, I wasn't just being again up against myself, but that shortstop could have very easily gone and played second base, right? They could have
Right.
chosen him. And so but I thank God that I never looked at it like that, because I guess because I think that actually hinders your performance. when you're not focused on just playing the game and trying to win a ball game.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
yeah. So Terry, what was your? I guess two questions here. What was your kind of welcome to the minor leagues moment when you realized that this isn't college ball anymore? I'm not in my home state anymore. I'm playing with grown men now. Like, what was that welcome to the minor leagues moment?
Yeah. Well, my biggest moment I say in the minor leagues is when we went to uh where was it? Where were the Seattle Mariners? Let me see. Where were they? I think it's where's Gonzaga, the school at right now? University of Gonzaga. What city
They,
is that? It's not Beloit.
uh,
Let me see. Well, anyway, we went to play the Mariners, right?
Oh,
And
Spokane.
yeah, Spokane, yeah. So my first big eye opening any kind of moment in sports, we went to play Spokane, and I knew the number one pick, Ken Griffey Jr. was on the team, right? And so I had heard all about him because at Kentucky we had a lot of players from Cincinnati, and two of them in particular were they played on the team with him. And and then they'd say to Shump, I mean, man, you remind me of Griffey, Shump, I mean, the only person I've seen do something like that is Griff, whatever, right? And so you hear so much about him, and then the draft comes up, and he's in my draft, and he goes number one pick, and so when we're going to play Spokane, I go out early because I want to watch BP, right? I want to see this kid that I literally been hearing about for 3 years, right?
yeah,
And then I got out there and I just couldn't believe it. You know, I mean,
yeah,
it was just, yeah, it was just something really special, like really different, and I was 20 at the time and he was only 17, and it was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen in sports up until that point, you know,
yeah,
and so that was kind of my like, oh man, like oh yeah, these guys, you know,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
All
Mhm.
right, and
yeah.
then so second question for you. So along your minor league journey, was there a certain point in time or a certain period of time where you realized like I've got a real shot not just to be a minor leaguer but to actually be a major leaguer? Like I can do this.
Yeah, well, I would say like all of those guys in the minor leagues, I think they probably most of them that are playing, not any sport, baseball, football, whatever. I think they all believe they're going to be, professionals, right, at the highest
Mhm.
NFL, NBA, or MLB. Um, because I always thought I was going to play in the major leagues. The only time when I went to Omaha, when they bumped me from the Midwest League from Appleton to Omaha, in that first half, I really struggled. I think I hit like 186 or something. Um, then I just knew like it was, man, this is kind of tough, right? But it's tough, but what you think at that time and what I thought is, but I'll get the hang of it, right? Because up until that point, like you always have, right? And so there's
Right.
there's no reason to think that you wouldn't again. And so it was really tough. It was really but actually as I'm thinking about it, my big moment was Ken Griffey Jr., right? And then in Appleton, Wisconsin, I was playing with Tom Gordon, Flash, right?
Mm.
With Flash. And he's saying that he was a young kid. He was 19, I think, whatever, right? And so he's a pitcher and he's pitching, and he throws hard, right, firm, has a really good breaking ball, but he's doing all right, whatever. And then all of a sudden, maybe like in May, like about a month and a half into the season, it just got ridiculous, right? He was just striking, yeah, he was just striking everyone out.
Yeah.
And so this one game, we were playing, and I think we went. This is before all the pitch counts and all that stuff down the game. Um, he had a no hitter going, and I think score was 0-0 or 1-1, right? And they got in the run, but it's no hits, and so he went into the 10th inning, and he had thrown a lot of pitches because that was his thing. At that age, he was working on his control, trying to get it right. And so, but I remember being out there at second base and thinking like, I really thought this to myself. I said, well, man, if he's only in A ball and he pitches like this, I might not be able to hit you know and
Yeah.
I was after the bet. I said because he was making guys just look ridiculous,
Yeah.
And he was throwing so hard, and it was just, you could just, he was just over. He was treating them like they were like not even high schoolers, like junior high kids, right, middle schoolers. And I was out there thinking to myself, I'm like, why isn't he in Kansas City? You like, is that much difference? Are they that much better than this kid?
Right.
And so all of a sudden, how guys hit a click, if something clicks for him or whatever, right? And so then he, after that game, I think he pitched one more game for us, and then he went up to he went a level like each 3 weeks. Then he went to the high A, which was Baseball City, the Florida State League. And then I
Mhm.
think he had like 3 starts there, and then he stayed on the same trajectory, and then he went to Double A, and I think had maybe 3 more starts there or 4, and I think 3 again, and then he dominated there. Then he went to Omaha, and in Omaha they made him. He got like 5 starts, and he was still dominating, and then he was a big leaguer.
Yeah.
So I tell myself now, as I look back, I said, so I wasn't wrong. Like he was pitching
Right.
like a big leaguer.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know, yeah,
Yeah. So all right, so you get up under the Royals in 1990, and you've got some big names on that team.
man, yes,
George Brett being one of them. How is it
yes.
being up there with those guys, starting to learn your game at the highest level?
Yeah.
With a veteran like George Brett.
Yeah, now I look back now, man, it was just the teammates that I had, right? And so my first experience, because the Royals had just won or were in the World Series like a couple years before that, right? And so we're still a team when I go up there like that's competing, trying to win a World Series. They're going to be a playoff team, and Frank White is the second baseman, and he's Frank White, right?
Right.
And yeah, tell me to come up there. They say, I'm fine, you're ready for this, whatever. And so I remember having, George. I remember they were good. What really helped, I think, was Bo on the team, right?
Mm.
Because he was such a freak, right? So good, and he just like calmed everything down. It was good that he kind of took me under his wing like he did with Flash Gordon with Tom, and just made it comfortable, you know, made it real comfortable. And so, but still, it's you're there and you're thinking, like I got this, like I'm gonna do it, right? Because I was really playing well in AAA when they called me up, and until I tore my thumb up, I was playing great, until I got injured, and so, but it was fun, it was you go up there, I tell my big story my rookie year was when which was actually involved George, right? And we were playing in Cleveland. So we were playing in Cleveland, and I was at second base, and we were up by a run, maybe 2-1 or 3-2, and it was they were hitting. It was the bottom of the eighth inning, it was the bottom of the eighth inning, and and this was maybe like game 14. Like it wasn't one of my first, wasn't the first couple of weeks, whatever, right? But we were in Cleveland, and then it was the bottom of the eighth, and we're out there up by a run, and all of a sudden, we got 2 outs. We have 2 outs. I'm not sure. I'm sure it was the bottom of the eighth. It may have been the bottom of the ninth because I don't remember us hitting again. But anyway, we're up by a run, and we get 2 outs, and then all of a sudden, you're ready for the ball, ready to play or whatever. And then I look over at first base, and I think that's George Brett, right? I literally said that. I said that's George Brett. So you know what happens next, right? The ball comes to me. The last
Oh
out,
no.
ground ball comes to me, and I backhand it a little bit, right? Get a little backhand, and I literally, they call it the yips now, whatever, right? They, in free throw, they say what they call ball, like the alligator did. And so I
Yeah.
did that, right? And so I got the ball, caught it cleanly, and I couldn't throw it to first base, and I threw it over there, and I short hopped George, pick it, and he shouldn't have picked it. It was over short hop, and I think it went into the dugout or something. So the guy got second base. Next guy gets the hit and ties the game up, and then they walk it off somehow, right? And so that was kind of my big league moment,
Oh no. Yep.
Yeah,
Man.
it was horrendous.
Yeah. So you were with the Royals, you kind of go to the Red Sox and the Cubs, and then you really kind of settled in with the Rockies. So kind of
Yes.
explain about your time with the Rockies there.
Yeah. So I think that each one of my stops, it's like you said, when so I what I believe, right? My belief now is over. So when I tore my thumb up my rookie year, I was down the ball and I don't know, the ligament in my my glove hand, right? Horsing around and doing BP with Bo, at second base. He wanted to see who, because he said, "Shabazz, I'm watching you out there, man. You like get some good jumps, whatever, right?" And so we literally like an idiot. We had a competition during BP, right? Had a competition out there during BP, and all the guys were like the whole team was out there for it, right? And so Bob Schaefer, which was our infield coach, was hitting the fungos, and he was hitting. Bo and I were at second base, and he'd back, wouldn't tell us where he was hitting, whatever, and we'd go after it, right? And so Bo, because he's a ridiculous athlete, he didn't look good feeling it, but he was getting everything, right? And so then Schaefer hit me like way up the middle, and I ran over there, and I felt like, should I? Because it's, we're just playing around, right? And so I took off the dive, and then right now I thought like, this is stupid. Like, what am I doing? So I tried to put my hands down and stop myself. And when I put my hands down, I just rolled my wrist like that. And I got up and I came over. Bo caught another ball, and then Shafe hit me another ball, and I caught it, I threw it in, and I walked back over, and Bo said, Shump, you hurt yourself, didn't you? Like that. I said, I don't know, man. I'm all right, whatever. He said, Shump, get off the field, man. Go in there and check on yourself, whatever. And I go in the training room, and I have a torn ligament in my thumb, And but George, like I said, he was cool. George told me, he said, Shump, he said I had that same injury when I was younger. And he said it took me 16 months, 16 to 20 months to get back from it. Right? He said, but you're young, you're thinking, you can do thing, whatever, right? I'm rehabbing. It's about 2 months out. 2 months out, I go to Omaha on a rehab, on a 30-day rehab is what you.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2 months out, it was because to the team, it was September 1st, right? It was when September carbs come up. But I was in Omaha and I was scuffling, like it wasn't my thumb hurting really, it was my wrist, my wrist and my forearm. And then I came back. I remember George said, Shump, what are you doing back up here? They say you've been down there playing or whatever. I said, yeah, man, I'm trying to I'm ready, whatever. And I wasn't ready, I just wanted to get back and playing, right? And it was good.
Yeah.
And my first pitch, my first at bat back, we were playing the Blue Jays, and it was Todd Stoudemire or Mel not Mel, one of the brothers, right, was pitching for Toronto. The first pitch, he hits me in the hand and breaks my hand. First pitch, I'm back, So actually, I'm thinking that's God, whatever, right? Because I wasn't ready anyway, and I started out my year doing well, whatever, and I stunk it up in Omaha when I was trying to get back, and so I missed the rest of the season, whatever. But then I just wasn't able to rehab, man, and really get back during the season, the strength. And now, and I wasn't really at this time, I wasn't a big weightlifter. I really know the advantages of what strength was, what strength meant to you, right?
Right.
And because I didn't lift a lot of weights at Kentucky either. I just went out and just played whatever. And so then it was kind of a scuffle for me. That next year I came back and I played full year, but I didn't hit well. I didn't do well, whatever. And then '92. I still didn't. He had come around. They got then we traded and got Jose Lean, whatever. And so then in '93, I played in the minor leagues the whole year, but I came back, had a solid year, whatever. Then in '94, I was with the Royals, and I had a good year as a utility guy. But that time, I had to go to utility because we had Chico, right? They had traded and got a good, a Gold Glove second baseman, right? One of the best in the game at that time. And so then I got traded in '95. I got traded to Boston. And again, I wanted to be a second baseman, the starting second baseman, at least compete for it. But because now I'd learned to play all the positions, they felt like I was best, like moving around the field and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so I did that. And then in 90, what is that? 90, that was 95. And in 96, yeah, 96, I went, with the Cubs, same thing. They had Seinberg there. And the reason I signed with them was I figured, I didn't know how many more years he had, right? And so I figured, I would play some utility and then jump in there or whatever. And so I was there and I was getting better, playing and doing this or that. And so what I believe now, looking back, is each stop, like, I got better. I was learning, right? I was learning. But what really changed the game for me is when I went to San Diego. It did everything. I went to San Diego, and I played with Tony Gwynn and Ricky Henderson, right? So I was in spring training. I was in spring training, and I had a great spring training, right? You know, and Tony Gwynn really said some. I mean, he really took to my family because I always travel with my family. He was a real big family man. You know, had his family there, and so his wife really took to my wife, and we just hung out a lot together. And then so when it came and I didn't make the club out of camp, you know, he said, Shump, Shump, don't worry about it, man. You know, you'll be here, like you're a really good player, whatever. So that really gave me a lot of confidence, right? Hearing that from him. Although, you know,
Yeah.
you're confident, it's good to hear from somebody like that, right? And
Yeah,
so
he was okay last time I knew.
yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah, he
And
was
so
all right.
then
Yeah.
I started the year and I went to it was in Las Vegas, to AAA. It was in Las Vegas. And I went there and I was there for like a month, I think, and then they called me up, right? They called me up, and so when I got there, you know, I'm playing well, and then talking to Tony a lot, and watching Ricky, you know, because I'm just observing whatever, right? So I remember Ricky went on the disabled list, and with a strained calf, right? He went on the disabled list with a strained calf. So when we get to the park the next day, I get there, you know, because I get there early because I'm not playing every day. So I'm exercise, right? I'm running flag posts, right? Stay in shape. That's what my conditioning was. Run some flag posts, get some ground balls infield. And Ricky's running the stadium. Like it was Pat Murray running the stadium. And I was like, man, that guy, he just went on the disabled list with a strained calf, right? And so then when he came in, you know, I was just kind of laughing. I said, man, how'd that make your calf feel? You know, and you know, Ricky's known for talking third person, right? You know,
Yeah.
and that's not cliche. That's what he did, right? That's who he
Yeah.
was. You know, you just got used to it, and it never was not hilarious. And he said, Ricky got to do this. You know, Ricky, you know, this is what Ricky do. This is what Ricky do, whatever, right? And so I said, you know, just kind of laugh, and I said, well, man, it doesn't bother you. No, you got to run through it. You just got to run through it. And so I said, oh wow. And so I watched Tony hit and everything. You know, go in there and watch his early work. And so what I figured out when I learned from those guys is that it's a 24/7 to be in the big leagues and remain there and be good. It's a 24/7 job,
Yeah.
right? And for me, now this is why I say, like, I think God really blessed me with a good talent, is because at this particular time, I'm gonna say this was in 1997. 1997, and just do the math, and I was born in 66, right? And so I think I'm 31, right? I think I'm 31. Is that it, right? I guess it's right. And
I,
so
everybody on this podcast know I don't math, so
yeah,
that sounds right.
so this is in 1997, and so now I've been in the big leagues from 1990, in the big leagues from 1990 to 1997, right? And my biggest off season, what I look forward to after the season, was going home and playing intramural basketball. Like that's what I did. I had a blast, whatever, right? And then I would go to my wife and I would go to the YMCA. I'd run on the treadmill a little bit and do some little weights. Now this is the kind of weights I did. Like I never had a spotter, right? You know,
Yeah.
so that was my
Mhm.
weight routine, right? And so what I learned and what I tell people, I said, you know, because now you can attract it. Like I said, like, to Colorado. Now I know that Colorado was altitude, and I know Colorado has its advantages hitting, right? Has its advantage hitting, and I'm not going to take it away from that. I said, but when I really became a baseball player, a major league baseball player, was after 1997, and that was because of Ricky Henderson and Tony Gwynn. I really
Yeah.
believe. I said, because they showed me what work. They showed me how to be what it requires to be a big leaguer physically.
Right.
Physically, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what I said. And I mean, because I go now after 1997, after that season, like I went home because Tony told me his routine. He said we go home. He was home for a week. He said, and then they would drive to his family would drive to Indianapolis and stay for the winter in Indianapolis. And he said, so he'd have that week off from hitting. They drive, he said, because he hated flying. They drive to Indianapolis, so it's 2 weeks off. Then after got to Indianapolis, he said he'd hit 4 days a week. And I said,
Yeah.
man, you know, but then I thought about it. My best minor league season was the 2 years when I went to play winter ball in Puerto Rico, one time in Puerto Rico and Venezuela. And I
Yeah.
said, so I was playing baseball all the time.
Right.
You know, and I came back and it was just boom, 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 whatever. And so then, it all changed for me, man. What I say, it became my life. You know, I always
Yeah.
loved it. I always had a passion for it. I love going to games. I even love playing the minor leagues, whatever. But I just didn't know the work ethic that it required, is what I
Yeah.
attribute my success to after 1997.
Yeah. Nice. How do you feel about the way that they use technology to help themselves at the plate, right? Velocity in today's game is at an all-time high. I mean, you face some guys with velocity, Randy Johnson, right?
Yes,
So,
yes,
I mean,
yes.
you guys had like a game plan, like on like notebooks and stuff like this. These guys have iPads now. They get like direct feedback. How do you think those
Yes.
guys would adjust to like Randy Johnson back in the 90s without an iPad compared to how you guys approach the game?
Yeah. I think what I say is
Oh, we freeze.
I always make, so that's the way I put it. I lost. Can you hear?
Yeah, we got you
Hello?
now.
Yep.
We got you. Can you
We
hear
got
us?
you, Terry.
Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, okay. There you go.
There you go.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Are we there? Okay, sorry about that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so
It's all right.
yeah, I always kid with those guys saying, man, you guys have the answers to the test, whatever, right? I said, oh, we're always what we do. Yeah, we're always trying to figure it out, right? I mean, we have to, in our minds, and it, I always say it's just like evolution is a part of life, right? We used to ride around on horses. Now we drive cars, right? I
Right.
said that's the way I look at baseball, even sports, even life, whatever. The thing is when when now we get charts, we see things, and they tell us, Randy likes to throw his slider, you know, 1-2, 1-2, 75% of the time he's going to throw his slider, right? Back foot slider. Well, now, they'll tell you that what's his name? Scooble. What's his first name?
Tarek.
Tarek Scooble, throws his 1-2, he throws that back foot slider, you know, 93.3% of the times, right?
Right.
And so I don't think, it's still, you have to hit it.
Right.
Still it comes down to when you're in the box, like, can he hit or can he not hit? If your pitcher, can he pitch? Can he throw strikes? Can he do this or that? Whatever. Uh, I said, and so I think it's good to have. I think it's good to have information, right? I think it's good to have information, but but also know that there are not too many major leaguers or guys playing the NFL or guys playing NBA that are walking around the world, right? It's
Right.
I still believe the ones that were blessed, that were gifted, are going to be the ones that play it.
Yeah. 1000%.
You just have to pick those guys out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of to lead into that question, we love to ask this question: who's the one guy that had your number, like you couldn't touch him with no matter what you did? And then on the flip side, who did you hit really well? Who did you see really well?
Yeah, that was, well, Randy Johnson. I would say, I think it said I had a career like 252 batting average, and if you take Randy Johnson away, it's probably 272. You know, it's a lot better. But what I say is, but the thing is, this is what made it so fun, though. Because once, most time, even played against all the lefties, right? And so again, I always thought this is going to be the time, right? It just never was the time. you know,
Right.
yeah, just never was a time. And then him, actually, Randy Johnson, was one that kind of like dominates you. He, with him, an 0 for 4 might be an 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, right? Which is humiliating, and just you just hate that. But another guy that actually I remember gave me problems was Kurt Reeder. Remember the
Okay.
name?
Yeah.
Kurt Reeder, the lefty. And I,
Yep.
I I didn't even realize this, because what they call it, a real comfortable offer, right? Because every time every time he was going to pitch, I knew like, man, I get to play, right? I'm going to be in the lineup, and you're always excited. And so I never realized that I was one. I mean, at one time I was 0 for 19 against him, you know.
Dang.
And then so they said one, because one game I didn't play, whatever, and I said, man, it's a lefty, like why aren't I in there? And said, Shump, have you seen your numbers against him? Whatever. And I looked and I was 0 for 19, right? And so so I was like, oh, and so I said, well, man, I mean, like, I'll get him, like, you know, like I feel good against him, whatever, right? I'm hitting balls hard most time to the third baseman, shortstop, because I'm rolling over his sinker, right? His little sinker, his changeup, and then
Yeah.
but then the next time they let me play in San Francisco, I actually got my first hit off of him, which was a home run to left center.
Nice.
So you can say maybe I realized, like, man, this guy gets me out, and and they think I can't hit him or whatever. Um, but I hit the home run. I think I was still only 1 for 3, but still, I remember it was a big home run, but still, yeah, So I had trouble against him, but a guy that I really hit well, um, um, was actually the lefty Omar Dahl,
Okay. Yep.
Mhm.
and then like Brian Anderson, I think the lefty with Arizona. I say these guys because
Yep.
we played them like every other week,
All
seems
the
like,
time. Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, him, but one of my biggest moments, one of my biggest times in during my career was facing Nolan Ryan, right? Like I said, I got to face him, and I was literally, I was at one time one of the only two players, maybe the only one or one of only two players that faced Nolan Ryan more than 10 times without striking out. Without striking
It's
out.
pretty incredible.
And then, yeah, and then his big buddy, what's his name? Something Kerwin Darrell. Remember the old umpire, Texans, big Texans, they always talked about it. Man, what was his name? But he umpired for like 40 years, forever or whatever, right? But he's from
Kerwin
Texas.
Danley.
No, not Danley. I think it was Merrill or Merrill. It wasn't Kerwin Danley. I can't remember the name. But you would know. I mean, somebody just gonna come to you when we get off
Yeah.
here. But he was known. He was like Nolan's buddy and stuff. He's a big Texan and had all the game. But he's Nolan Ryan, and so I'm telling you, we were in Texas playing. We were in Arlington, and it made the paper. Right? It made the paper, and we were coming to town. It made the paper, and this is in 1991, I believe. That's when I was everyday second baseman, and my first at bat that day, I got the 3-2, and Nolan threw me a 3-2 changeup that the catcher almost basically short hopped it, picked it right out of the dirt, and he called it a strike. And I was so mad. I was so mad, right? Because I was thinking this idiot knew, he'd been reading the paper, that I've never punched out against him and whatever, whatever. And but that was one of my big claims to fame then. I really liked that. But
Was it
facing
Durwood
go ahead.
Merrill? Durwood
Yeah, that's
Merrill?
it. Yeah, Durwood
Yeah.
Merrill. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's him. Yeah,
Yeah.
how many years?
Nice.
How many years? He humped a long time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
20,
yeah.
22 years.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They said Durwood Merrill. Durwood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Durwood. Yeah.
Durwood. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was him.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's him. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and so it was really good. But I think that was one of my biggest. When I was faced Randy so long, at the time, Randy, the unit now is, he's a Hall of Famer and he came on to be it, but like even now that my career is over, I really, when I said, man, I got to face, the Rocket Man, Roger Clemens, and Nolan Ryan,
Yeah.
like I love that I faced those two guys, because they're like George Brett, they're like baseball royalty, for
Yeah.
me, and Pete Rose,
Mhm.
like when I come like Pete Rose, no, Pete Rose, um, Nolan Ryan, like those guys were like, they were
Yeah.
like right now when somebody looks at whoever it is today.
Yeah. That's absolutely incredible, man. We got a question in the chat. Favorite ballpark to play in, least favorite ballpark to play in.
Oh man, let me see. I think my favorite, and I don't know, St. Louis is like, I don't know. I'm from Paducah, and that's where I went when I go to Riverfront to the Reds and to St. Louis to watch big league games. And so I don't know if it's because St. Louis was close to home. It made just when I went there, and in Atlanta, it made me feel like I was playing at home when I went to St. Louis. But everything about St. Louis, it just feels like baseball. It just
Yeah.
feels like when I went to play there, it felt like when I was watching it on TV when I was 12, 13, 14. You know,
Yeah.
so it was kind of special all the time. Um, and so, but it's nothing like playing at Coors Field. Rocky Stadium is like the greatest place. It is unbelievable. It still
Yeah.
is. And then it was really cool. It was really cool to go to New York and play. I hit 2 home runs in Yankee Stadium. One game against Terry Mulholland, I think.
Hmm.
And we won the game, I think 3-2. And like that's like a really memorable moment because it was all, it's all in Sports Center, and it's Yankee Stadium, right? You're doing that,
Right.
and crowds are going crazy and stuff, big fans. Uh that was big moments. Anytime you go to New York and play, and Boston was, but and then they're all Wrigley Field. It's like the nostalgia of it. Of those places, right?
Yeah.
Um, but uh, like the least favorite was probably Finn was Boston. you know, it's just like I don't know. It's just like a dump. You know,
Yeah.
if you could call a major league field a dump, right? You know, and, yeah. Sorry about that, man. But
No,
It's
it's
all
it was
it's
good.
funny
We
because
know.
it's
We
funny
know.
because
yeah.
CC Sabathia famously said that not that long ago that the place was a dump. He's like the walls were sweating, the place was gross. He
Oh,
hated it for all
really?
the same reasons. Yeah,
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. It was just yeah. I mean, it's like, man, this is Boston. Like, this is Fenway. Like, the experience should be a lot better. As a major league player. And maybe it is now. Maybe they've, because I know at Chicago they've done a lot of renovation. With the
Yeah.
clubhouse and stuff, everything. So maybe I don't know. I haven't heard that with Boston, but just from then, it was just the pits. You know.
Yeah, well, they're playing like it this year too. So, but we don't have to really talk about that. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. All right, last question. I know you're pretty busy, and appreciate that your time. But we got a question. What was your weirdest career moment, if you have one? Like, kind of just
Yeah.
out of left field weird.
Man. I don't. Let me see. Out of left field, weird. Um. Um. Yeah. I don't know.
I kind of put
Yeah.
you on the spot
One time.
there.
Yeah. No. One time. When I was playing in Chicago, when I was playing at the Cubs, when I was playing in Chicago, um, I got messed up on the train system. It
Oh
was,
no.
yeah, I got messed up on the train system, and I got to the game in the third inning. Yes, yes,
Oh
yes,
no.
yeah. But you know what I tell people? This is what I say about that though. That's why, and I tell the kids now, even when I talk to them, I said, when God says a good name is better than silver and gold, right? I said because I got there in the third inning and no one said a thing about it. I just got dressed and went out to the park. And you can only do that if you've had a reputation, they knew I wasn't out partying or drink, like doing something
Right.
weird, or whatever, right? Something crazy, And I just said I got lost. I said I didn't know, and you can't just get out and get a taxi or whatever because that's probably slow. It's slower than I'd probably got there in the sixth inning. And
Right.
so I just had to get the train back, whatever. And I got there in the third inning, man, and then it just got dressed and went out to the park to the game, and then went home and got there the next day.
Is it bad that I have a picture in my head of you just in your full Cubs uni on like a subway, just like like, oh god, man, like come on now.
Yeah, that would have been something if I had my uniform on. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah,
Man,
it was
that's
just
so
amazing.
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
That's
That
pretty
was that was
awesome, man.
yeah. I was going crazy, man. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah,
There's nothing you
yeah,
could do though.
man, that's crazy. But yeah, I know you have to run, Terry. I really appreciate this. You are welcome on anytime. I
Oh
know
yeah,
that
thank you.
I know that we talk quite a bit, and I love
Yeah,
that. So we'll keep
yeah.
the line of
Appreciate it.
communication open, and anytime you want to come on, talk some current Rockies. I mean, they're actually
Oh
kind of
yeah,
relevant to talk about. So I would
yeah,
love to
yeah, yeah,
dive into that
yeah.
with you at some point. So
All right,
um,
next time we'll
yeah,
do that. All right,
absolutely. So take care, Terry. Thank you so much again. Really appreciate your time.
all right. Thank you all. All
All
right,
right.
Thanks, Terry.
See you.
all right. We'll see you. Okay, bye bye.
man. Again, I love it. I love hearing the stories and everything. It's just always so incredible.
I love the getting lost on the trains, like something that
Hilarious.
any normal person would do. It
Oh
than a
yeah.
major leaguer who shows up late to the game because he got messed up on the trains. Like it, no,
Yeah.
it's all the same crap that we deal with.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, and that's the thing. We say it every time. It's like these guys are just guys like us too. Like that is something that we would do. And they're just regular guys that are just really good at something.
Yep.
We say it all the time. But yeah, man, pretty awesome. But yeah, love that.
Wild.
Yeah, I've been in touch with Terry quite a bit. So we'll possibly get him back on at some point. Talk about his current Rockies because he's still out there in Colorado. He follows them pretty closely. And he's got some pretty cool connections around the league. So hopefully get some other people on here in the future. So pretty cool. Always love listening to that stuff. The stories are incredible. And like that's like he played during our quote unquote like heyday of baseball.
Yeah.
Right. Like he played with all those guys. You know, I talked to him a little bit before the show about Traxel because when we had Traxel on in November, December, you know, he was on that 96 team in Chicago with him. So it was pretty cool, but loved it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great because like these are guys that I definitely watched. I remember clearly. I mean, I remember many instances of watching these guys play. So it's cool to be able to talk with them because I was watching them closely back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, incredible. So I mean, anybody that's played at that level and to realize what it takes to be there, to get there, and to stay there is something else. Like the Ricky Henderson story and Tony Gwynn story is crazy, right?
I would pay good money to just like be able to sit there and be a fly on the wall, listening to those two guys talk. I mean, could you imagine Tony Gwynn and Ricky going back and forth, talking hitting, talking baseball? I mean, just talking all of it. Like it would have been wild.
Yeah. But the guy's on the IL with a strain calf and he's running stairs in the stadium is crazy.
Because Ricky's got to.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
It's it's the thing though. Like these guys that get there, like we said with Mark Rogers, it's hard to get there. It's even harder to stay there.
Yeah.
And these guys, it's a life. You want to be in that league for any length of time. It's your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And like he said, he didn't really realize it until, later in his career when he met Tony Gwynn and Ricky and was like, oh, like Tony Gwynn takes a week off and then he's back at it. He's like, I was playing intramural basketball just to stay in shape. Like I wasn't hitting. I wasn't doing
slightly different training plans.
Yeah, just a little bit. But it says something about Terry's talent that he was able to do that. Like essentially just get off the couch and play baseball at the highest level. Like, I mean, that's pretty insane. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it is wild to think that he literally took the off season off. And then just like showed up to spring training and played and stayed on the team.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy.
Makes you wonder though, like if he was doing what Tony Gwynn was doing, like what does that career look like?
Yeah. I know Randy said it back here. So Randy, I think, played with Shump over there in Eugene.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and he said he had some of the craziest, softest hands he's ever seen. So, I mean, pretty wild.
Yeah. Defensively, Shump was fun to watch. He moved well. He got to everything.
Yeah, and you look at him, just like look up his Google images and him turning double plays, man. He's like 6 feet off the ground, completely parallel with the field on some of the pictures in there. It's pretty wild, pretty damn athletic. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some news around the league. Edwin Diaz out 3 months with loose bodies in his elbow. Does this change anything for the Dodgers?
No, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, we said it before the show even started. Like, is anybody still paying attention to the Dodgers? Because, like, I'm not. They're sitting at 17-8 with the second best record in baseball. I guess tied for second best record in baseball, the Padres. Like, I pay no attention to them. Like, I'm not interested. Yeah. I don't care. I I don't pay any attention to them anymore because I just don't feel like I need to.
Well, we mentioned it right before we got on the show too. It seems like the league has almost like kind of stopped pushing them too. Right? I mean, they're just they're just doing their thing, right? I mean, we don't really need to publicize. Everybody knows that the Dodgers are doing Dodger things. Like I haven't seen them on the front page, quote unquote, front page of social media much lately.
No, I and it's like we were saying, it's almost like their Dodger fatigue is real. I think the whole world is just tired of hearing about them, seeing them, constantly having to talk about them. I feel like the whole world just kind of like, whatever. Like they're out there,
Yeah.
they're winning. Who cares anymore?
Yeah, Ryan, this is it. Dodgers are on autopilot until October, and so is the rest of the MLB's social media pages. Yeah, agree.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
it's fair.
All right. Sonny Gray for our dreadful Boston Red Sox hits the IL with a right hamstring. How much do we want to get into this Red Sox team? I mean, there's not really that much to talk about, to be completely honest, but I mean, everything is going wrong. They can't string two hits together. They can't catch the baseball. I mean, they got a great outing from Peyton Tolley today. It was good to see him out there. He dealt.
Tolley versus Schlittler, a couple of young guys just duking it out.
Schlittler's disgusting, man. He's
gross.
Unreal. And homecoming for him. He's from Massachusetts, and he just absolutely dominated the Red Sox. But Peyton Tolley had a great outing, but it's not enough because the rest of the team can't do a single thing.
Yeah. They're bad. They're bad. And we said coming into the season, like the offense was a question mark. The defense we knew wouldn't be good. The pitching we thought would be strong. The bullpen is a question mark. And the starting rotation's been okay. The bullpen's been a mess. The offense is stunk. And the defense is garbage. So, I mean, we were like 3/4 right on this team. It's just the starting pitching that hasn't been as good as we thought. And I don't know. I feel like this team will be better. Like they're bound to figure it out at some point, I would think. But now you got Roman Anthony day to day with back issues. Sonny Gray hits the IL with a hamstring. It's not looking good for Boston. And thankfully they've got some young guys they can lean on, but this is they're not in a good spot.
Alex Cora needs to figure something out with the outfield, or the front office needs to figure something out with the outfield. You have 6 players cycling through 4 spots.
Yeah.
You have to sit 2 guys every game. None of them are hitting. Duran's starting to come around a little bit, but I mean, Willier started out hot. He's ice cold. Rafaela started out pretty well. He's ice cold. Yoshida was hitting, but then wasn't playing every day. It's like, okay, he's the only one hitting. How is he not in the lineup? I mean, what do you do? I mean, I blame Cora, but I don't at the same time. Like, he's got 6 guys for 4 spots. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, Cora's not done a great job, but he's also not working with a lot. So really, in fairness to him, it's like, yeah, dude, you're not doing great, but in fairness to you, like, you don't have much to work with. This is, we ragged on the Mets for going out and getting the best player available and having too many guys at one position. The Red Sox have done basically the same thing.
Yeah, fair.
And none of them, sadly, are very good in the outfield.
No, I mean, minus Rafaela defensively, Abreu defensively. I mean, everywhere else is. I mean, Roman Anthony can't throw the ball into the infield. I mean, Duran is all right out there, but I don't know, man. The whole team is an absolute mess, and I honestly don't know how they turn it around, because Crochet is not even Crochet. And something's up there too.
He is definitely not right. I mean, and nobody's pitched great. I mean, for what it's worth. Sonny Gray starting to come around. You saw a decent outing out of Suarez. Like, it feels like guys are beginning to like find a groove, but it hasn't been good, like in any way, shape, or form.
No, It is frustrating for sure because they find a new way to lose a ball game every single night, and
It just
it's
keeps it
crazy.
interesting, you know.
Yeah,
Got to be
sure.
got to
Yeah,
be entertained.
yeah. I am entertained by switching to a different game to watch.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Thank God for MLB TV, right?
yeah,
I'll just go watch somebody else play because I can't watch this anymore.
yeah. All right. Well, speaking of the woeful Mets, who just came fresh off a 12-game losing streak, get Juan Soto back. So, yay, Mets fans. Oh, no. Oh, no, Mets fans. Francisco Lindor hits the IL with a strained right calf. Here comes another 12-game losing streak. I mean, Mets are in the same boat as the Red Sox, right?
It's this might be worse though because now you've got I would say important guys dropping. You get one back, you lose another. Granted, Lindor has been awful to start, but like he won't be awful the whole season. He's just he's coming back from hamate injury. He's still finding his getting his strength back, finding kind of his new groove. But when you take a talent like that off the field and out of the lineup, I mean, boy, you get Soto back, you dump Lindor. There's still this team's in a world of hurt because nobody's hitting, nobody's playing well. You've got big guys cycling in and out of the IL. It's not a good start.
Yeah. I mean, he hit a big 3-run homer in the first inning of the game that kind of broke their streak against the Twins. But other than that, there was no other offense in that game until they
Nothing.
scrapped one across in the bottom of the 8th or bottom of the 9th, however they won. But yeah, man, I called it, right? It's just a lot of talent put together, but they haven't found who they are. They don't know who they are yet. And that's the same thing with the Red Sox, right? It's just a whole bunch of talent on one team, but they don't have an identity. Like they're still trying to figure that out. And in this league, if you just throw a month away, like you're done. Like you can lose a season in 1 month. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it's April, don't panic." You can't win this league in a month, but you sure as hell can lose this season in a month. And you look at these Red Sox and Mets, who we kind of figured would be towards the tops of the division, bringing up the basement and pretty easily bringing up the basement. It's not good. That's a huge hole to climb out of.
Yeah, and the Mets pitching's actually been kind of middle of the pack, which is about as good as we thought they'd be. Even with guys like Senga, who've been horrendous, they've been about middle of the pack. Their offense is dead last in baseball. Like, let that sink in for a minute. That offense is dead last. They've been outscored by the Giants, the Rockies, the White Sox. Dead last.
It's crazy to think about.
It's horrendous. I mean, in 24 games, they've scored 78 runs.
Yeah.
You're getting about 3-ish runs a game. That ain't going to get it done.
No.
Ain't going to get it done.
No. Mets are metting more than I thought the Mets could possibly met.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
They're metting the hardest they've ever metted.
Yeah. Nolan McLean does look like the real deal. That kid has
nasty.
some frisbee stuff. It is absolutely insane.
There's nothing about it that's okay.
No, I still love that viral Rafael Devers clip where he throws like a first pitch slider and then he throws him like a second pitch, like two-seamer or changeup that completely breaks 12 inches the opposite way. And Devers gives this look like, oh my God, what was that? Like, look, he's just like, what? How? What?
Yeah. The only face better than that was Max. Who's the young kid from Detroit? Clark? What's the outfielder's name?
Yeah, Max.
Who sees the 100 and something mile per hour fastball and looks at the bench and goes, WTF?
Yeah.
Like, like his like eyes bugged out of his head. That was the only one I've seen that was better than that because Devers just looked at it like that couldn't have been real.
Yeah.
Like that pitch had to have been fake. Like, did you throw me a wiffle ball? Because that thing was absurd how much it moved.
Yeah, Ed, his stuff just breaks everywhere. And to have like control over that break is something special too.
Yeah.
Like if I was ever to manipulate a baseball like that, I don't know if I'd have control with it. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I don't know where this one's going to go.
Yeah. How the hell does he know where it's going? I just, the amount of break on that. How do you even plan for that?
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, and Ryan, you're not wrong. Lindor pre-injury acted like he didn't want to be there, and I think that's kind of the vibe around the Mets right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible. It sucks.
Yeah, nobody
Um,
seems to want to be there. It's a mess.
Yeah. Michael says, so the Braves have the best record. Red Sox suck. The Mets sucks. The Phillies suck. I just need the Yankees and Dodgers to suck, and I'm in heaven.
Well,
Yeah.
we were saying that before we went on the air. Like you look at the standings and you're like, so wait a second. You've got the Phillies, the Mets, the Astros, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays all suck. Like those are the teams that are dragging their wagons. But now you get the Minnesota Twins at 500. The White Sox are 10-15. The Rockies are 10-15. The Pirates are 14-10. The Cincinnati Reds are 16-9. The Cardinals are 14-10. Like all the teams that were supposed to suck are playing well. All the teams that were supposed to be good suck. It makes no sense.
No. Nope. It's been a strange start for sure.
You're right. And the Cardinals don't suck yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
They may hang around. Like they're playing pretty good baseball. We say it all the time. Like when you play good baseball, it's hard to lose a lot of games in a row.
Yeah, when you don't beat yourself, you don't give teams extra outs, right? We've talked about the Guardians being that team. There's nothing flashy about that team. Zero things flashy about that team.
Nada.
But they don't beat themselves.
No.
And that's what it is. So, all right, Lucas Giolito finally signs. What does this bring to the Padres team?
I don't know. I mean, he looked good with the Red Sox, then suddenly his elbow hurt and he was gone. He was good up to that point. The injury history of this guy is downright frightening. I don't know what he brings. He might bring you 10 decent starts before he gets hurt. He might bring you 20 starts and look like an ace. The stuff is there. He is a legitimate major league pitcher. The question with him is going to be how long does the arm hold out? Because it's always something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a track record, right? It's why
Bad.
Left the White Sox, went to the Angels. Angels are like, okay, that's good. You can go ahead. Red Sox sign him. Didn't even play for the Red Sox the first year because he was coming back from injury. Looked good all season last year and then just got hurt right before the playoffs, which was huge. But man, I don't know. Padres are still kind of a mystery to me. I mean, yes, they're playing pretty good baseball right now, but the Padres are going to Padre at some point here, and
yep,
and something's going to happen, and it's going to be a dumpster fire, like it has. Michael goes adding to the dumpster fire, maybe. And this is the question, Ryan. Right? Which Lucas are the dads getting? We're not sure. Like I'm with you, Harrison. We don't know.
Not a clue.
A discount on bulk Tommy John surgeries. I mean, it should be at this point. Yeah, I'm in for my second, but I'm going to pay up front for the next 3. Come in a package deal, right?
Yeah, but I've got my card. Can you punch my card so after 5 I get the next one free?
Subway punch card's crazy.
It's getting freaking absurd, man, with the injuries and the elbows. But
yeah,
I would love to see Lucas Giolito have a sustained period of success. Because yes. I think he's a good guy. He's got good stuff. He's a competitor. I just don't know that you're going to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mike Reed, prior to the brace surgery, he was an innings eater. Maybe his body is breaking down or it's just a blip. And I don't know if I can call it a blip anymore if it's happened a few times. Right. I mean, a blip is like one injury, then we come back and we're fine. This has been, kind of regular here. And yeah, Ed, if he can go 15 starts for cheap money, it's a good deal. I mean, yeah, you get 15 starts out of pretty much any MLB pitcher right now. It's a good deal, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, this crazy. Giolito was a super consistent guy. He made most of his starts. He was pretty regular, and then he had the injury in 24. 25, the elbow comes back. The problem with these things, these like brace surgeries and all that, is that you don't know how long they're good for. And this may be an ongoing issue for him, or maybe he's through it and you'll see the guy of old. But the problem for him is he's now on the wrong side of 30 with a couple of concerning elbow issues, and you're just not sure who's going to hold up. And his last full season, he gave up a bajillion home runs and didn't look good. So the trend is not good for him. From 22 on, he's either been terrible or hurt, and it's not an easy trend.
Yeah, but it shows you how desperate the Padres kind of are out there for pitching. So,
I mean, they're not alone though. I mean, there's several teams that I thought would have been looking to grab him just for a depth piece because they need to fill out a rotation. But I don't know.
But the arm issues are a worry for a lot of teams. The Braves were screaming at the beginning of the year. We have 3 guys on the IL. Why aren't we going after Lucas Giolito? And I said it all along. Why would you want to add another guy with past arm issues on your roster that has arm issues? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, don't bring in another guy that has an injury track record.
Well, that was like when the rumor was that the Braves run on Giolito. We're like, no, the last thing the Braves need is another guy who can't get on the field.
No.
Like, what are we doing?
Yep. John Carter says his big pitch is his changeup. A lot of pitchers have had arm trouble. Browning, Smiley, Dravecki, Saunders. Most have been left-handed, but same situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's how you grip the baseball, right? Puts the extra pressure on the tendons, puts extra pressure on the elbow.
Well, depending on how you throw it, if it's more of a straight change, your wrist is cocked back. If it's more of a circle change, you're rolling the wrist over. Like the funny thing is the changeup puts a decent amount of stress right through that forearm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily the highest effort pitch, but because of the way you release it, it puts a decent amount of stress through the forearm.
Yep. The same thing with the splitter too, they say, because you're splitting your finger tendons apart, which puts all the forearm tightness and stuff down there. So
yeah, I'm surprised we don't see more guys that throw splitters with issues in their forearms. Like, that just seems like it's I don't know. That seems like a really tough pitch to throw regularly.
They built the team around Machado. Enough said. That's circus tent. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, middle reliever maybe. I mean, maybe if they get a couple of guys back, he goes in there and becomes a long relief guy. I don't know. It will be interesting to see how they use him, but I think he's going to be starting. But crazy. All right, Cody Bellinger has homered on 420 in 3 straight years. Coincidence or?
I mean, if there's ever like a poster child for 420 in MLB, it's Cody Bellinger.
But
I mean, 420 is his holiday.
Yeah, I saw this stat the other day, and I go, I have to put this in a slide. Yeah. This is too awesome to not put in a slide. This is.
I'm still convinced, like when they talked to him after he signed the deal with the Yankees, that he was high as a kite. Because that conversation with the media was so awkward.
Yeah, he constantly does, but yeah, this stat was just too good for me to not put in. I saw this the other day. I was like, this is awesome.
Like he is the guy. We all played with a guy like this who was like crazy athletic, barely functional mentally, who's always like, yeah, what? Huh? But like then we'll go out there and just like do ridiculous athletic things.
Yep.
And you're just like, what is this? This dude doesn't have a thought in his brain, but he's a physical specimen.
Yep. He is not on this planet right now, but
yeah, we all played with a guy like this.
Mm-hmm.
All of us.
Right. This totally checks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
1000%, man. Crazy. But
I wonder what he's like in the clubhouse. Like he's got to be entertaining at least, right?
Yeah. I would think so. So pretty cool. Got a message right before I got on today with Terry. Veda Pinson III. If you're not following his page, you need to, because he is being very vocal about getting his dad in the Hall of Fame, and he is on the campaign trail to try to bring awareness to the Hall of Fame to get him in. He will join us on Sunday at 9 p.m. He will be our guest on Sunday to talk about his dad's career, the Big Red Machine, the Cincinnati Reds, everything that is Veda Pinson. So I want to thank Baseball History Dork. Forrest kind of turned me on to him that he was looking to do some podcast stuff. I reached out to him a couple months ago, hadn't heard, and then he just messaged me back tonight. So we will have Veda Pinson III on the show on Sunday to talk about his dad and his career. And I can't wait to really sit back and listen because, again, that's kind of before my era of baseball. And I want to hear the story. And, Veda Pinson III was there for all of it. There's many pictures of him as a kid with his dad at the field and stuff like that. So I can't wait to hear the story that he has got for us on Sunday. It's going to be pretty remarkable. So make sure you guys check. I mean, you guys are always here, but just wanted to let you know that is coming up on Sunday. Pretty excited for that.
Yeah, and he makes some really great points. He's done some really deep research.
Yes.
Very articulate, very passionate. So I think this will be a lot of fun because I think when you look at Veda Pinson's stats, like he has a case. There is a case to be made. Is it a great case? I mean, maybe not a great case, but there's definitely a case to be made. I think, and under a certain light, it might be an easier one to make.
Yeah, and I think it's the Hall of Fame is definitely going to come up in this discussion, right? I mean, it kind of has to. But Michael, if you compare his and Bain's stats, it's a no-brainer. Hall of Very Good. He's not a Hall of Famer. Maybe not, but Bain's is in the Hall of Fame. So if his stats are similar to Harold Bain's, then yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, right? I mean, what are we even talking about? If you put a guy like Bain's in there, you open the door for other guys to get in. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, granted, Bain's got in through one of the committees, so it's not like he was he was an easy one to get in. But I mean, you look at Veda Pinson's numbers. I mean, he and Harold Baines are very much the same player. Difference is Baines played longer. It took Baines longer to accumulate those numbers. What works against Pinson is he doesn't have any of the individual awards that you look for. He was a 4-time All-Star, won a Gold Glove. Nothing else. Like no major kind of hallmark accomplishments he can hang his hat on.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, either way, whether you agree with it or not, he is coming on the show, and it will be interesting to hear the stories he's got about his dad and his time with the Reds and the rest of his career. So looking forward to that on Sunday. All right. I did not do out of left field questions today because I thought our interview was going to go a little longer. But I do have some trivia for you, Harrison, and the chat.
Oh boy.
So this week's trivia is most visiting home runs by ballpark. All right.
Oh, this will be fun.
This will be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this one. So here we go. Which two players hold the record for most career visiting home runs at Fenway Park?
Well, the guy on the left's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. I almost didn't even blur him out. It's like
so that's clearly the babe. The guy on the right. So this has to be Yankees, right? I mean, it's got to be Yankees players.
Mm-hmm.
So is that? Sometimes I can't tell if they're left-handed or right-handed.
In this situation, yes.
Okay. Oh, is this a switch hitter?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so it's got to be okay. So it's got to be Mantle.
Yeah, it is Ruth and Mantle. 38 apiece as visiting players.
That's a lot of home runs for a visiting team.
Yeah. However, it will not be the most for what we see. So I'll give you that. Goody. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Camden Yards in Baltimore?
That is another dead giveaway silhouette.
Yeah, some of these silhouettes are dead
The high
giveaways
leg
for
kick and like
sure.
the way that he had like the O in his arms. That's only one guy.
Yep. Yeah, you guys all got it. Babe, and Mantle, Ruth and Mantle. Yes, good. Yeah, this one absolutely is a rod, A-Rod, A-Royd, whatever you want to call him. 34 home runs in Baltimore at Camden Yards. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at the Rogers Center in Toronto?
I would recognize this silhouette anywhere.
Yep. Some of these are a
Anywhere.
lot. Some of these are very easy for sure.
I'm gonna wait so chat has their time to get through the delay so they can get it.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably like, all right, next. Like,
Yeah, this is there's only two players that look at all like this. Fred McGriff, who it's not, and then this guy, other guy who it is.
yeah. It is not Griffey, Ryan Taylor, not Griffey. It is a big poppy, David Ortiz with 41 at the Rogers Center.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh,
41.
man, I mean, but all those years, the unbalanced schedule when you played so heavily in your division, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mike Reed, you got it as well. Okay. Again, let me get through this next one, please. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Tropicana Fields in Tampa?
This guy had 1 billion there.
Well,
Most of them up on the catwalks.
a little bit less than 1 billion, but
Yeah.
I mean, not far off.
Not too far.
Yep. The waistline should have told me. My bad.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Poppy's a little thicker than Junior.
Yep. That's all good. Just
Just a
a little bit, not much. Oh, that was cool to hear Terry talk about Griffey, like right then in the fall ball there in Eugene, Oregon.
That
was
must have
kinda
been so cool.
He's like, the kid was 17 and he was like, yeah, he's different.
Just
It's
bombs.
It's wild. Yep. Well, this one is nope, this is not Batista. I mean, that's not a bad guess. Kind of tricked you guys here. Anybody else? Chat's quiet.
Yeah.
Harrison, who is it?
It's Poppy again.
It is David Ortiz again, 35. Yeah, Ortiz
Oh, of course,
again,
Mike Reed says it right as I do.
Right after, yeah, of course, yep. That's how it rolls. All right, here we go, John Carter. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at the new Yankee Stadium? So that's the disclaimer here. The new Yankee Stadium. Ryan, dirty trick. Yeah, sorry.
Is this a Blue Jay? Is that the blue?
It is a Blue Jay, yes.
Oh, I know who it is by the silhouette now. I could have sworn that was a left-handed batter for the first minute I was looking at it.
Yeah. I love the silhouettes because you can't it just plays with your head a little bit.
Breaks my brain trying to figure out what I'm looking at.
Yep. Yep, this is a Blue Jay. Man, we got a pretty big delay. There it is. Ryan Taylor. Jose Bautista is correct. 19. Yep, Joey Bats. Good. 19. Vlad Jr., not a bad guess. Not quite. He's probably getting pretty close, though. Donaldson's also not a bad guess. But, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much Donaldson played at the new – when did the new Yankee Stadium go in? It's not that old, right?
It's not that old. 2000, was it 2006? Didn't they win the first year?
So then it was 2009, right?
Oh, sorry.
Was
Yeah,
that
no, it was 6. Yeah,
2009? Yeah, that's right. So, all right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Comerica Park?
Are we serious right now?
I'm dead serious.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So yes, the new Yankee Stadium opened in 2009, the same year they won the World Series.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's the last time a team has won the World Series in the first year of their new stadium. So pretty cool. Yeah, this one actually shocked me a little bit that he's the leader at this, and it is David Ortiz with 23.
Where's Mauer, Morneau? Like, where are all the guys that played there all the time?
Yeah, 23. Yeah, highlights got it. So, yeah, 23. Nice. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, formerly known as U.S. Cellular Field?
Good old Chicago.
Chicago.
This is a Tiger. Oh, duh. Yep, I know it is. It's clearly Bobby Higginson.
Yep, you got it. Bobby Higginson.
When in doubt, he's my guess.
Yep. It is, in fact, Miggy. Nice job, Mike Reed, with 25. 25 in Chicago. Call it Comiskey or I'm leaving. Yeah, I always know it as Comiskey Park because that's what I grew up in the 90s watching. It was, welcome back to White Sox baseball at Comiskey Park. Yeah, the new, sponsorship deals for these stadiums that change every 5. Now it's just rate field, no guarantees. Yeah. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah, love it. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City? Who hit the most balls into the fountain? Yes, sir.
So that stance, I'm like, that has to be him.
The stance and the fact that he played here enough to do so as well was kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, that's why I was questioning it. I'm like, how is he the guy that leads here? Because he wouldn't have played there that often.
Right.
He must have just raked when they played there.
1,000%.
Dude raked everywhere, let's be honest.
Yep. Yeah, he was pretty all right. Yeah,
I feel like RBIs and stuff.
Yep. Lost in that 90s shuffle for sure. Not Euclid. Not a bad guess with the stance, but not quite. Highlights. You are really close. You like mashed 2 famous guys on that team together.
Yeah, you mashed Juan and Yvonne together.
But I'll give it to you anyways, because I think I know who you're trying to go for since you said Juan. But it is Juan Gonzalez with 22. So, yeah. When did the divisions go to 3? When did they split into the Central?
Oh.
Because that could have said it. If the Royals were still in their quote-unquote division,
94.
He could have played. So
it was approved in 93. It happened in 94.
All right. So then really not 95, 96 is when and Gonzalez played after that. So he must have just absolutely murdered Kansas City.
Mashed when he was there.
Yeah. But yeah. Juan Gonzalez, 22. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Progressive Field or Jacobs Field in Cleveland, whichever you want to call it? Juan Gonzalez sighting. Crazy. Yeah, that one was one of the shockers for me on this list. So I was like, dang, no way. But
Yeah,
this
not
one
who I would
should
have
be
guessed.
kind of yeah, this one should also kind of be a no-brainer.
This one's pretty obvious.
Yep. Michael got it. It is Miggy again, of course. 26. Yep, Cabrera again. Thanks, Nick. I'm gonna stay now. All right. I'm just gonna put all the stadium names that I know them as on each question just to make everybody happy because I'm a person of the people, you know? That's how I go. No, Matt Noakes with a trivia question answer a couple weeks back, Michael, but great guess. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Target Field? And I can't even say the Metrodome because it's never was the Metrodome. So yeah, who holds the most home run records for visiting players at Target Field?
And it's only been open since 2010, so there's not a lot of players that have played there. Oh, this has got to be our boy.
Yep.
Got to be.
And he probably did it in his 48 home run season. He was on a tear. It is not Joey Bats, John Carter. That's a great guess. It is indeed Salvador Perez. You are correct, Ryan. 22 for Salvi. Jose Ramirez, not a bad guess either. Baseball history dork, but yeah, Salvi Perez, 22. Pretty cool. Yeah, Ed got it as well. Nice job. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Angels Stadium in Anaheim, California, Los Angeles?
Of the West Coast.
Of the West Coast.
That's a Mariners color.
Mm-hmm.
How far back does Angel Stadium go? Because it's they've renamed it a bunch of times, right? But it's still been the same stadium.
I mean, I think Angel Stadium's like one of the quote unquote older stadiums out there. I want to say it's like fourth or fifth oldest.
Yeah, 66. Okay. So it's still the same original.
I believe so.
So that's not a lefty, so it's not Griffey.
It's not Griffey.
Say, is it?
It's not Jay Buhner. That's a great guess.
Edgar, is it?
It's not Edgar.
It's got to be Joey Cora.
Yeah. No, it's Luis Soho.
Yeah. Nice. Dan Wilson.
Yeah. Mike Blowers.
Russ Davis.
Mark McLemore.
Nice. I like it. Did Sorrento play there? Can I go with Paul Sorrento?
He probably did at some point.
Oh no, I'll go David Segui.
All right. Raul Ibanez.
Oh, Ibanez is great. Ichiro.
Rafael Belair. It is A-Rod. Yes. It is A-Rod. 38.
Ryan, your comment says it all.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call that place. Neither do they. They can't figure out what city they're from. That's how we feel too.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, it is A-Rod. So nice. Alvin Davis is another great name drop. Oh, Matt Tuiasa Sopo. Yes, please. Man, we should just do that all the time.
Wasn't Tuiasa Sopo a football player?
I don't know. Sounds right. But anyways, yeah. Alex Rodriguez, 38 at Angels Stadium. Pretty crazy. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Globe Life Park? And remember, this is a fairly new ballpark, so it's got to be pretty recent.
Globe Life.
That's in Texas, Harrison.
Everything's bigger in Texas except this guy.
Facts.
This guy is still little in Texas.
But he
But he hits like he's a lot bigger than he is.
I was gonna say he does hit some big boy home runs though.
Sure does, especially in the playoffs. Like his silhouette just looks smaller. Like it's like obviously smaller than the other guys.
Right. Not Bregman. Bregman's not a bad guess, but it's not Bregman.
Bring your kid to work day.
It is Jose Altuve with 10. But yeah. Nice. Yeah, opened in 2020. Yep, that's right. Altuve. Yep. Nice. There they go. Altuve is correct. Yeah, Globe Life Open 2020, right? Because the COVID year, they all played there, and the Rangers. And someone won a World Series before the Rangers even played a game there. It's just crazy.
So
That's
weird.
Nuts. Yeah, it's so crazy. But yeah, Altuve is the correct answer. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Daikin Park? Enron Field, Minute Maid Field, whatever you want to call it.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Also kind of a no-brainer silhouette. Like I thought about leaving the silhouettes out, but I was like, would it be too hard? So that's why, yeah. So it is.
All I know is he had a playoff home run that was pretty important.
Yeah. It is Albert Pujols, 35.
Wow. That's Brad Lidge.
Yeah. 35. So for Pujols at Daikin Park. All right.
What a terrible name.
It's brutal. Which two players hold the record for most career visiting home runs at Oakland Coliseum? Not Sacramento, back in Oakland. So Oakland Coliseum.
The dump.
Yeah.
Mike Reed, that ball still hasn't landed. Facts.
No.
They had to serve an in-flight meal on that puppy.
You know when the camera loses track of it after it leaves the infield, you know it's a bomb.
Oh, yeah.
like can't keep up with it. It's above the lights already. You're just like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. A-Rod and Trout nailed it. Nice job. Highlights got it. John Carter got it. Yep. Nice job, fellas. A-Rod and Trout with 21 apiece. And that record will forever be cemented in Oakland Coliseum history. So,
yep.
So,
Ryan, these are two different silhouettes. They looked awfully similar, didn't they?
Yeah. They are pretty close. That's wild. I just kind of noticed that. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Safeco Field, aka T-Mobile Park? This guy just destroys this ballpark when he shows up here.
Always has from like minute one.
Yeah, this one's Trout easily. 33. I mean, he goes into Seattle and it's just like, I don't even why they pitch to Trout anymore when they play them in Seattle. It's
he owns
wild.
Seattle.
It's
owns
wild.
it.
Yeah. All right. Over to the National League now. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Citi Fields? I feel like, yeah. Yep. Faux show.
Yep. Mr. No Elbows.
And still somehow raking. I can't open a bag of chips, but he can still hit the ball 8,000 feet.
It's absurd.
I don't get it, man. Like, talking about playing through something like that debilitating and still being able to do what he does is crazy. Yeah, this one is Giancarlo Stanton. Marlins time mostly. I mean, he's probably got some with the Yankees there too, with interleague play. But yeah, 24 for Stanton at Citi Field. Pretty cool. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia? Yeah, Chipper owned Shea Stadium for sure. I don't know about
for sure.
Citi.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this one?
That is such like a plain stance.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the vanilla of stances.
Yep. This one, I mean, yeah, John Carter got it. There we go. David Wright.
Obviously. Yeah, that should have been a no-brainer.
David Wright, 22. Nice job. Yep, Mike Reed got it as well. Nice job, fellas. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Lone Depot Park, aka Marlins Park, aka Ballpark in Miami, aka, well, it's not Joe Robbie Stadium because that was something different, but yeah, this one, Harrison, you got it. This one's kind of a no-brainer. This is a pretty unique stance as well. I think some of these I definitely could have left out the silhouette, like the easier ones, because I think we probably could have guessed this one. But yeah, it is indeed Freddie Freeman for sure.
Yeah, or even just given the team they
17.
were from, and we probably could have figured it out.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, 17, like even some of these totals, I'm like, it seems low.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
No. But I mean, you think of a couple things, right? Like Freddie obviously moves over to the Dodgers. It's a newer stadium. So like how much opportunity did he really get?
I mean, fair.
So yeah. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C.? Yep. It is funny how, like, yeah, that's fine, Ryan. I'll try to give you the location too as well. I'll do a better job with that. I'll tell you where they're from too, because I agree with you. Like sometimes, like the new names of these parks, I'm just like, which one is that again? Like
I can't even keep track of them anymore.
Yeah,
it's like I miss the days where it was just like it was so simple. They stayed the same. Now they change every few years because the rights go up for auction again.
Yep. Yeah, it is Stanton again. Nice job, Mike Reed. Nice job, John Cata. Giancarlo again, 22. I mean, dude, when he younger in his career, man. I mean, he still mashes now, but when he was younger, look out.
I mean, he pretty well terrorized the NL for a while.
Bombs away. Wild. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Truist Park in Atlanta?
Also, been around that long.
Yeah, Mike Reed. The Astros just changed it the beginning of 2026, I think. I think this is the first year of Dayton Park.
Very recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rights expired and they sold them to the next highest bidder.
It's still Minute Maid Park to me.
It will always be Minute Maid. I still call it Minute Maid Park.
I mean, I know for a while I called it Enron Field because that's what it was before Enron did Enron things and lost that. Yeah.
Before they blowed up.
Yep. Ryan Taylor. This is in fact Bryce Harper. with 15, and it kind of makes sense, right? Nationals are the NL East, and then just kind of flips over to the Phillies staying in the NL East. So yeah, Bryce Harper. Lindor, not a bad guess highlights, but yeah, Bryce Harper. So pretty cool. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at American Family Field, aka Miller Park in Milwaukee?
Is this our boy?
Oh yeah,
Love it.
for sure.
He's got to be on a couple of these, right?
Maybe.
Because he terrorized the NL Central for a long time.
Yeah, maybe. It is not Pujols. Not a bad guess with that Cardinals there, but it's not Pujols. It's a guy that if we ever got on this show, man, I would just be like, that's it. We can retire. Podcast over. Thanks for the run, guys. But I think we're good. We came what we got accomplished for. I would love to sit down and talk to this guy, man.
It'd be awesome.
My mom comes in with the Moyer joke. I love it.
I mean, Moyer's up there too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. It is, in fact, Joey Votto. Nice job, Ryan Taylor. 24, Joey Votto. Joey V. Yeah, if we somehow got this guy on the show, man, I would love it, man. Such an underrated career that no one talks about. On and off the field, the type of guy he was, man. I loved everything he meant for the game of baseball when he was around. I miss him.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yep. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Busch Stadium in St. Louis? Yes, sir. If you can get me Joey Votto baseball history dork, let's go.
I'm a little afraid of the wink after that. Like, you can get us Votto like you're going to sneak up behind him and throw him in the back of a van, or you can get us Votto like you've got a connection. I'm not sure how to read that.
Yes, it's both.
I'm not sure how to read that.
I got a connection that will bring the van to him. Yep.
Yeah. I'm concerned.
Sosa is a great guess highlights. It is not Sammy Sosa. So I got a little tricky-ish with this silhouette. I kind of flipped it around. I'll kind of give you that. All right. Harrison, who's this one?
It's our boy Joey Votto again.
It is Joey Votto is 16. Yes. So I just did it from the backside, the silhouette this time. Yeah, bring Votto then. Yeah, chloroform is the pickup line that works every time. Yikes. Oh man.
Well, John Carter, you're in the same part of the world as Forrest. Maybe you're in on this. I don't know. Maybe you're the guy he's referring to.
Yeah, right. Most likely. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio?
This could be a few guys.
It could be, but this silhouette should be a fairly dead giveaway. No. Wait. Yes. Was that his nickname? It might have been.
No. I just threw that out there.
Oh. Not Reynolds, not Kutch. It's a good get. Yes, Harrison. Good. It is Ryan Braun. Nice job, John Carter.
Oh, he was. He and
28.
Hank Greenberg shared that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, after you said it, I was like, no. And then I was like, oh, maybe actually he was. Because I remember it sort of. But yeah, Ryan Braun, 28. All right.
Sean Carter. No, neither one of us are getting suspicious.
Yeah. Oh, God, man.
It's back.
It's back. Oh, man. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at PNC Pack in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
PNC Park's always older than I remember it being. It's like early 2000s, right?
I believe so. We can just delete Braun. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people are not a fan of Ryan Braun for sure, and I'm sure I'm going to get some backlash in the comment section for that when we release that one. But yeah, you guys all got this one. Pujols is absolutely correct. Dude murdered Pittsburgh. Well, a lot of players murdered Pittsburgh in this stretch for sure. But yeah, Pujols 35 is insane. But Schwarber, not a bad guess highlights. But yeah, Albert Pujols, 35.
He's probably got a few.
Yeah. Schwarber's probably coming up on that number just because he hits 500 a year. But yeah, Pujols, 35. Crazy. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Wrigley Field in Chicago? So we all know it's in Chicago, but it's just been what I've been saying because of the naming rights. But Wrigley Field, most home runs as a visiting player.
And Wrigley Field's 1 billion years old, so there's a lot of players it could be.
Yes. And this is the highest total that we have on the countdown. Schmidt is a great guess, highlights. It's not Mike Schmidt.
Where do you see Schmidt?
Right here.
I don't see that in the chat.
Oh. Yeah. It's from highlights.
Have I been suspicious in the chat?
Not maybe from the YouTube ones. It's not Mel Ott. That's a good guess. Not Hank Aaron. Also another great guess. Not Willie McCovey.
Wow.
Another great guess. It is Willie Mays. Nice job, highlights. 54 homers at Wrigley for Willie Mays. It's a lot. There we go. Willie Mays coming in the chat now. There we go. Yeah, Ryan Curtis, Michael, got it. Willie Mays, 54. Pretty wild. Oh, Musial, also not a bad guess, but.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Chase Field in Arizona? Know this one?
I don't know that I do. It looks like a lefty. It's probably Dodger colors.
Mm-hmm. Not Freddie Freeman.
So is it like an Ethier? Is it a... Oh.
It is an Adrian Gonzalez with 21. So, yeah. So with this one, I could have gone Padres too, because he probably had some when he was with the Padres there.
Yep.
But so Padres, Dodgers. But yeah, Adrian Gonzalez, 21 for sure. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at the Homer Dome in Colorado at Coors Field? And again, silhouette dead giveaway here.
Yeah. Yep.
So probably don't have to wait for this one. Yeah. So
well,
go ahead.
Let Chad do it.
Okay.
Let Chad have this one.
All right. I mean, yeah.
See,
Okay, there it is.
Now look at it light up.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, it is Barry Bonds with 26. Honestly, shocked that it's only 26.
It seems low, but he got walked like 700 times there. So,
well, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, he was 26 for 26 homers, 858 walks. Yeah,
probably something like that.
Yeah. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles? Chavez Ravine.
I feel like I've seen this guy before.
Not this one. Totally different guy at this point of his career, maybe. He only saw 27 strikes. Yeah, 26 were deposited too. It's crazy. Yeah, this one is Bonds again for sure. Yeah. Bonds again, 29 at Dodger Stadium. So pretty cool there. All right. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Oracle Park in San Francisco? Yes.
Okay.
Again, I think if I didn't put a silhouette here, no shot. Helton's a great guess, Mike Reed, but not Todd Helton. Not Arenado. It's also a great guess. You guys are thinking wrong purple here. There's 2 purple teams in that division.
One in the Rockies, one in the desert.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bat Wave's pretty iconic. We should know. Not Christian Walker. That's a great guess, Curtis. Not him. You of all people should get this guy, Curtis. Just saying. Just saying. Not Gonzo. That's a great guess, Mike Reed. This guy was a beast for the Diamondbacks, though, when he was there. It is Goldschmidt. There it is. Highlights. Nice. Paul Goldschmidt with 15. Yep. I mean, he was a monster in Arizona.
He really was.
Just nobody talked about him because he was in Arizona. But yeah, Paul Goldschmidt, 15. All right. Oh, there it is. Yep, Goldie's coming in now. All right, last one I got. Which player holds the record for most career visiting home runs at Petco Park in San Diego, California?
The $3.9 billion franchise of the Padres.
Yeah. That price tag, man, still blows my mind.
Mind-boggling.
Yes. Which purple team? I don't know this one. I can't remember who it is. But Harrison, you are correct.
Yep.
Not Charlie Blackmon. You're on the right purple team, but it's not Blackmon. That's a great guess.
That is a great guess.
Not Goldie again. That's a good guess. His name was thrown out earlier for the other one, for the Oracle Park one, but it was not him, but it is him now. Bartolo Colon. I'll accept it. Yes, 1.
But it's the most memorable.
Oh, for sure. Not Helton this time. That's a great guess. Yeah. Everyone's got Helton. It is not Todd Helton. 6 straight seasons of 30 and 100. Platinum glove for 10 years in a row. Or not platinum glove, but gold glove at least. I think 6 of them are platinum or something ridiculous like that. That should give it away.
He could play a little defense.
Yeah, so it's Nolan. Yeah, it's Nolan Arenado for sure with 15.
Yeah, 10 gold gloves, 6 platinum.
6 platinum gloves is crazy work. Crazy. But yeah, those were fun to kind of go down and do. I'm going to do a little bit other. I had a suggestion to maybe do the most ballparks. I also want to get some old ones in there. But like some old ballparks, because do you know who has hit the most home runs at a single ballpark of all time? The number is astounding too. I'll throw that out to everybody. So one single player to homer the most in one ballpark.
Is it is it in Yankee Stadium?
It is not Yankee Stadium.
Oh, okay. Is it Ernie Banks at Wrigley?
Nope, that's a great guess, but it's not him.
Bonds in San Fran?
Nope. You have the Giants correct. It's not Ruth in old Yankee Stadium, not Ruth in Boston.
Is it Mays?
It is not Mays.
McCovey?
Not McCovey.
Is this like old Giants or new Giants?
Yeah, it's old Giants. Not Ted Williams in Boston. Great guess. I would say he's very over. It is Mel Ott for sure. Mel Ott at the Polo Grounds, 353 at
in the Polo Grounds?
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
Were they like all right down the line?
No, I think they were all dead center, Harrison.
Yeah.
483. But yeah, it's like 2/3
that's
of
the
all
only
those home
ballpark
runs.
that was a friggin' rectangle.
Yeah. But yeah, McCovey at Candlestick, not a bad guess. But yeah, Mel Ott, Polo Grounds.
Terrible ballpark. But it must have been so fun to watch a game there.
I can't even imagine. Yeah. You just hit a pop foul down the line, man, and it just goes. Gone.
Oh, yeah.
See ya. But
Yeah, right in left field was 37 feet.
yeah. Yeah, you actually had to run behind the line to touch the bases, to touch first and third. Yeah,
they're actually in the stands.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think the lines were, I don't even think they were 280, to be
left
honest.
field was 279, left center was 450, center was 483, right center was 449, and right field was 258.
258 and right field is crazy. That's Little League fence.
Basically, yeah. And then it's 450 to the left center gap. And basically 449. It's basically 450 in the gaps. 483 in the center.
We'll make up for it and just go 250 down the line.
Yeah, 279 and 258.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it is weird, right? You look at, like, this was my thought too, was just like, you have Babe Ruth at 714. How did he not hit at least half of his total in New York? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I looked it up on I think it was MLB.com. But yeah, I'm not gonna give away any more because it might be another trivia segment at some point. But we got Sammy Sosa at Wrigley, 293. Ernie Banks at Wrigley, 290. Mickey Mantle at Yankee Stadium, 266. Mike Schmidt at Veterans Stadium, 265. Yeah. So then, yeah, I found an article from April 13th, 2026 that I pulled these visiting ones off from. So the next highest after them, you got Frank Thomas and Paul Konerko. So Frank Thomas at in Chicago, 263. Konerko, 259. And then it's Babe Ruth at Yankee Stadium at 259. Stan Musial at Busch Stadium, 252. Lou Gehrig at Yankee Stadium, 251. So pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep. So it's pretty cool. So I might do another segment of something like that. But yeah, men's league softball is 315 all the way around. I'd have a ton more at the Polo Grounds, 1,000%.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard the story of Lou Brock hitting one out to
Yes.
dead center at the Polo Grounds. That one's crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, it's a missile.
That's such a long home run.
I would hate to have upper deck seats in the left or right center field gaps, though. Like, you need a telescope in order to watch the game.
Yeah, you're not seeing anything.
No.
It looks like ants running around.
I think I'd rather have an obstructed view than to try to strain my eyes watching a game from there.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, thought that was pretty cool. So
wild.
All right, Harrison, do you have anything else for this evening?
No, nothing else.
All right. Anybody in the chat want to bring anything up that they've seen this week or want to talk about? Got a little bit of time here. Unless we just want to throw the towel in and 483, I think I have that club in my golf bag. Yeah, no. Yeah. I've been in the rock pile, Michael, and it's really not a bad seat, but yeah, they're out there quite a ways. And they weren't a bad seat because they were $4. So $4 seats at a Major League Baseball game is pretty sweet. It was really hot though. Like, you are directly in the sun. It was miserable.
Oh, you're getting roasted out there. There's no
Ryan,
cover.
I was gonna put a Murakami slide in because this dude has come onto the scene and is destroying the baseball. It is quite impressive to see what Murakami is doing. He's homered in 5 straight games, I think it was. I don't know if he did today. But he is just ripping the cover off the ball.
5-game home run streak.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Yeah, he's gonna get paid because it's just a 1-year deal, right? With an opt-in, or was it 2-year deal?
I think it's a 2-year deal, right?
It might be. It might be a 2-year deal.
2 years, 34.
That sounds right. That's right. So he's gonna rake for 2 years and then get paid 1,000%. I already know it. So
yeah, I mean he is kind of who they thought he'd be. There's a lot of swing and miss there, but man, there's a lot of loud contact.
Yeah. Curtis, yeah, Yankees Red Sox series again. I mean, there's really nothing to talk about. The Red Sox aren't a competitive team. I'll be the first to admit that. There's nothing about that team that is competitive at this moment. Yankees pitching is the best in the league, and they don't even have their 2 guns back. The Yankees are scary, man. They get Cole and Rodon back. Even if they're half of what they were, man, Yankees are in great shape. Blue Jays are a mess. Red Sox are a mess. Do the Yankees have any competition in the AL right now?
I mean, at the moment, no.
No.
I mean, it's. I feel like there's a huge gap between the few teams at the top and everybody else right now.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of teams that are kind of in the middle that are not great, but they're surviving. a bunch of teams at the bottom that have major problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1,000%. I think this is the Yankees division / AL to have at this point. I mean, they're playing like this, and they don't. Yeah, they're playing like this, and they're not even at full strength. Like, ugh, that's scary. Scary, and Cam Schlittler's the real deal, man. That kid is a stud.
Yeah,
it's wild. He went what, 8 today? 8 full. Just crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
Unhittable.
Yeah,
just unhittable stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to check it out, Michael Simpson got the opportunity to talk with Brian Hunter, former Atlanta Braves player. It was actually really cool. So check that out. I know they're doing Braves exclusively, but if you want to check out that interview, it was a pretty cool interview. So check that out. Mike Reed, I did not see this. Did you see the government is looking into MLB about their streaming exclusively? And I think the antitrust protection they have.
No, I've not.
So what would that mean? Like they're talking about like the blackouts and all that stuff? Like that all comes into it, right?
Yeah, I think they're talking about the fact that MLB TV it's exclusively their platform. So I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't see anything about. Yeah, I don't see anything on it. Do you have an article somewhere, Mike? Yeah, no, I don't see it.
Yeah. Highlights. I have been to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I've been twice. It's absolutely incredible. The plaques downstairs are really cool. Me personally, I loved the museum part of it, the artifacts things. I've said it before when we were talking about Jackie Robinson. His exhibit is absolutely incredible. But I think one of the coolest parts that I liked was they had a World Series ring from every year in MLB history in one case. Like that was really cool to see the evolution of the World Series ring year after year. Like starts with like literally a Cracker Jack ring, like Cracker Jack box ring, to what they're wearing now. That was a really cool exhibit. The Ted Williams strike zone, like that's a must see. What he thought he could hit. Yeah, the baseballs make up the entire strike zone, and he's got an exact number on every single baseball, where it's like if the ball was in this part of the zone, this is what I would hit. Absolutely incredible. There's so much to see. I've been there twice, still haven't seen it all. But it is you have to go. It's the mecca for any baseball fans ever. Like you got to go. And it's crazy because if you haven't been there, you just drive on farmlands. You get off the exit of the highway and it's just farmlands for like 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, baseball. And it's absolutely incredible. So yeah, I heard you guys talking about your highlights group, your Low Lifes group is making a trip out there. So I'm sure you guys will love it. I can't wait to see stuff from you guys out there when you get there, but pretty awesome.
Yeah, I loved it too. Same experience you had, Nick. The plaques are cool, but the museum is amazing. To be that close to, things that were that important in history is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We actually got
to catch.
Yeah, we actually got to play on that field there, which was pretty neat.
Yeah. I never got the opportunity to play there, but
the Doubleday field, is that what it's called?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to play there. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I have a bat up on my display case. I actually got engraved at the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's got my name and I think it's the year maybe, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, baseball history door. If I go, I probably won't bother with the plaques, and that's. I mean, there's a ton of them.
There's
like
so
it's
many.
cool
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, to pick out like a few guys, that's what I did. Is I walked through there. I picked out a few guys that I wanted to read and see. Like the first class is like the first thing you see on the back wall, like at the end of it. It's very well done, and it's like a kid in a candy shop. But
Yeah, for me, the plaques, I went in there looking more so for like specific players. I wanted to go find a
right,
few. And then, like, because you're wandering through, like, you see other names, you're like, oh, yeah, I want to look at that one and that one. But to me, the museum was the bigger focus.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, Ryan, I am so happy for you when you said this to us the other night. Stoked to be able to buy a Cardinal streaming package, and they better not F with that. And for you, I hope that they don't. So at least you get baseball back in your house, because that's crazy what they were doing to you. But yeah, this is really cool, Low Lifes, that what you guys do. So if you guys haven't followed highlights from Low Lifes, they have a group of like 12, and they travel from ballpark to ballpark. They're going to like Toronto, the Hall of Fame, some minor league ballparks. So I've been kind of following them a lot on their escapades, as you could call it. And we're hoping to get Rob possibly on this show at some point to kind of talk about what they do. But it's pretty cool to have a group of baseball fans that just travel together like that. It's pretty awesome. But I'm gonna skip that one, John Carter. We don't need to keep bringing that word back in. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I don't know how to share a link to the article I saw in chat.
You should be able to just copy and paste the link right into the comment and send it, I think.
Yeah.
If not, message it to us. I'd be curious. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, so back to that exclusivity packaging, like, what does that mean? Like, if the government's looking into that, what would that possibly mean? Like, that they shouldn't be blacking out markets if I'm exclusively getting MLB TV? Is that what they would probably look into?
MLB is allowed. Basically, MLB gets to kind of skip antitrust because their monopoly is only one Major League Baseball league, and they get that protection. If they use that to their advantage, though, to do things like exclusive streaming, exclusive TV, etc., the government can claim that they're actually violating their antitrust kind of free pass by acting in a way that's not competitive. So that's the only thing I can think of that would make sense, is that they get that free pass, because like the other leagues, they take these TV deals out to bid every year, or every few years. If MLB is going to bring it all back in house and run it under their own platform and sell it out, then in theory they're now taking complete control over distribution and acting like a monopoly.
Gotcha.
So that I could see. The hard part is, part of them fixing blackouts is doing just that. But I can see the government saying, well, now you're giving people only one choice of where to get game coverage, and therefore, your antitrust free pass is gone now.
Gotcha. I mean, that would make sense. But
yeah, so I could see that being the issue. I don't think MLB is anywhere close to that yet, because you still have TV deals out there. But as more teams get rid of their TV deals and fold themselves under MLB's umbrella, you're going to have fewer and fewer options.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's interesting. It'd be a fun one to get into.
Yeah. 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 Curtis, we did cover Lindor's calf strain. We said they get Soto back, and then boop, Lindor's gone. Bye. Just Mets, man. Mets being the Mets. Brutal. But yeah. Oh, that would be cool, John. After you graduate this spring, gonna see family in Ohio. Definitely hitting up NFL and Baseball Hall of Fame. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that's crazy.
Sick.
It's been 6 years of blackouts, Ryan. That is crazy.
Brutal.
Oh, wow. Yeah, maybe the silver lining of a lockout is more concessions to the fans regarding streaming. I mean, we can only hope. I mean, I think they're going to be completely different entities, really. I don't know how much the MLB and the MLBPA are really going to talk about streaming necessarily, unless it really starts to affect the money. That would be the only reason I could see them lumping that in. But I don't know. I think streaming is going to take a back seat in this CBA because they have bigger fish to fry at this current moment. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think streaming plays into the overall revenue picture, and there may reach a point where MLB's got to cut the media piece right off and make it a standalone, outside of the circle deal, where it then contracts back with it, which would have an impact on the revenue picture. So I think it's from that perspective, I think the MLBPA cares about it, but I don't think it's going to be a major negotiation piece because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's just a matter of how much money are we going to make and how are we going to carve it all up.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, I mean, if we're locked out in 27 and it's going to be a long one, just fix it all at that point, right?
Yeah, just
Like,
pull the pin on the grenade, blow it all
Yeah.
up, and start over.
yeah. I mean, at any point, do you think that would ever happen? Like, hey, like we just need to start over from scratch. Because I mean, we have TV deals everywhere. We have local owning. We have what 13 underneath or 16 now underneath our name. Like, is there any way that they can just, like you said, pull the pen, blow up the whole thing, and fix it from the ground up? Is there any way that they could rebuild this entire economic system?
I I don't think there's enough time or enough appetite to take that all on. It's that would be a really painful reset. It'd be
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that would a lot of great things could come from that, but it would take so long and it would be so painful to go through that I can't imagine anybody wants to touch it. They're gonna fix the big items and then let all the little stuff just continue on and call it good.
Because I mean, on it, the boat's sinking, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And we're just plugging the major holes as new ones spring up. Like, I get
Pretty
it, but does a salary cap kind of have a trickle down effect and help fix the other holes in the financial structure? Do you think it could?
I think a salary cap puts teams on a level playing field and makes teams that are currently not viable again. I think it does that. When you get into all this other stuff around the edges in terms of TV revenue and stuff like that, like that's a way, way bigger issue. But it does affect everybody. Because you have to look at you have teams that own their own networks and teams that don't. You have teams that own their ballparks and teams that don't. You have teams that are in major media markets and teams that aren't.
Right.
How do you fix that? Unless you go to like a straight like socialist system of every dollar that comes in, we split it 30 ways. There's always going to be disparity, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because a salary cap prevents a team with like the Dodgers, who's at the high end of the curve, from using that to their advantage. It's we look in the NFL, they've got a salary cap. The Dallas Cowboys make over $1 billion a year. They can't spend any more money on salaries than they're allowed. So whether they make half that much or all of that, it doesn't change what they can put on the field.
Right.
And that's the way the NFL has gotten around it. Because the
So, yeah.
revenue swings in the NFL are huge.
Yeah. But yeah, they have nicer facilities. They use their money somewhere else. It's just they just can't on the team. But
yeah, so they're insanely profitable, like insanely profitable.
Which I think would help a lot of these teams that aren't. I mean, the league lost money last year, supposedly.
The Dallas Cowboys are more profitable by themselves than MLB is over like 5 years.
Crazy.
It's not even close.
No. So yeah, I mean, we will see. But the 2027, it's going to be a long one. And we thought 2022 was long, but man, this one's gonna be a doozy.
Yeah.
Gonna be a doozy. So we'll see. But all right. Do you have anything else for this evening, Harrison?
That's it.
All righty. Well, like I said, we will have Veda Pinson III on our show on Sunday to talk about his dad and what his life was like having a major league father. And Veda Pinson III has been very vocal about trying to get his dad into the Hall. So we'll listen to everything he's got to say. Can't wait to hear the stories he's got. I'm sure he's got some epic ones. So really looking forward to meeting with him and listening to his story. So make sure to come back Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you again to everybody in the chat. You guys, I say this at the end of every show, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being a huge part of this show. You guys are the reason we do this, the reason we have the platform, and appreciate all your takes and being a part of this. So absolutely love it. Love you guys. And hope you have a great weekend of baseball. And we will see you Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard.